Hey everyone, I'm Nancy from New Travel Escapes and welcome back to another travel adventure. Today we're taking you on a whirlwind tour of Cancun Airport in 2025, where modern tech meets a few classic travel quirks. Whether you're a seasoned globetrotter or a first-time visitor, I've got the insider tips to help you breeze through immigration, recognize and dodge the scams, find your chosen transportation, and start your vacation stress-free. So let's dive right in. Cancun Airport has 4 terminals. Terminal 1 mainly handles private flights, while Terminals 2, 3, and 4 cater to both international and national flights. Today, we're focusing on international arrivals into Terminals 3 and 4. If you're flying into Terminal 2, check out our separate video for that one. Once you disembark your plane, you just follow the signs to immigration and passport control. The signage is bilingual in Spanish and English, so you'll be just fine. And if you're traveling with little ones, take a quick pit stop at one of the conveniently located bathrooms before you get to the immigration area, because those immigration lines can be really long depending on the time of day you arrive. Once you get through this upper hallway here, you're going to come to either an escalator, but if that's not your thing, you can also use the elevators just down the hallway a little bit further. They're both going to take you straight down to immigration. When you get to the bottom of the escalator, you can choose to either use the E-gates or you can choose the regular immigration lines. Back in 2022, Cancun ditched paper immigration forms in favor of snazzy electronic gates or E-gates, unless you're flying into Terminal 2. They still have forms at T2, so that other video I mentioned will be helpful. But for Terminals 3 and 4, you will use electronic immigration gates. By 2025, these E-gates have expanded even more, making your entry smoother than ever. In the past, E-gates were only for Mexican, Canadian, and American travelers, and a fantastic change for 2025 is the E-gates are finally open to a multitude of countries. Have a look. You still have to have a valid e-passport or biometric passport, and it has to be valid for at least 180 days, and you must be over the age of 18. So 18 in a day, you're good. Look for the little vintage camera icon on your passport to know if yours is a biometric passport. For those of you eligible for the E-gates, here's how they work. When it's your turn, place your passport picture side down into the kiosk. The machine will read your details, and when it lights up green, boom, the door's open. Step inside, stand on the marked circle, and let the camera do its thing. Now, pro tip, remove your hat and sunglasses. They're going to ask you to do that anyway. It's a scan. After the facial scan, the machine prints a receipt with a QR code. Keep that receipt safe and pop it into your passport when prompted. It might just save your day at departure time. In the past, we've never had anyone actually ask us for this receipt, but on this trip in early 2025, we were asked for it at our departure check-in, and we were told that if we couldn't produce it, there was a very large fine. They also told us, Checking on it is random, but if they do, you must either have it or pay the fine before you can depart the airport. So tuck it in and keep it safe. After you're finished with immigration and you've tucked that little form into your passport, now you're going to walk past the duty-free shopping area. Remember, even though it's duty-free, you're still subject to the country's limits for items like cigarettes, cigars, and alcohol. If you're looking to really splurge, check out the mini mart just outside the airport where those limits don't apply. But if you buy them in the airport before customs, those limits are going to apply to you, so keep that in mind. We're going to walk you through that mini mart when we get out there so you can have a look. Once you're done with your shopping or having a browse through the duty-free, it's time for baggage claim, and you're going to walk right there. There's no way you can get lost. Fair warning, our bags seem to enjoy a longer vacation than we did, and they took a while to unload. If you're booking one of our recommended transfer services, they will be keeping an eye on your arrival. And don't forget, airport Wi-Fi means you can always send a quick WhatsApp if there are delays. So when you're at baggage claim, it's going to take some time for your bags to come out, or it usually does when we're there. And you've got Wi-Fi, so you can check on anything that you need to check on. After picking up your luggage, head to the customs declaration area. If you have items to declare, follow the signs to the officers. Otherwise, follow the nothing to declare signs, and you're off to the next step. A note for you tech-savvy travelers, gone are the days when carrying both a tablet and a laptop meant a hefty fine. Thanks to a late 2024 law update by the Governor of Quintana Roo, you can now carry your gadgets without that extra tax. And it is about time, right? All right, now that you've conquered immigration and customs, let's step through the doors and tackle the next challenge, the running of the gauntlet. This area is known as the gauntlet or the shark's tank, and in this area, you do not need to talk to anyone. It is here where most people get scammed at the Cancun Airport. I suggest steering clear of booking excursions at the airport. Those tour folks in blue are known for their aggressive sales pitches, and trust me, if you have to be hustled into something, there's usually a catch. Instead, book your tours in advance through your transfer company, Viator, or even directly with your resort, and always check the reviews. When you exit the shark tank, you will be out into the fresh air and the ground transportation area. Taxis at Cancun Airport can be a bit of a scam in my experience. They'll quote you one price before you hop in, then surprise you with a higher fare when you reach your destination, plus they'll add a tip on top even though tipping isn't customary here. I just don't recommend it. There's also an ongoing turf war between rideshare drivers and traditional taxi drivers. Many resorts even restrict rideshares from picking up guests, favoring taxis with a little kickback arrangement. So do your research and decide what works best for you. For us, I highly recommend organizing your airport to hotel round-trip transfers before you even arrive. Once outside, look for the friendly faces holding signs with your company name, your tour operator's name, or even your own name. If you can't spot your rep, don't be shy. You can ask around out here. The people outside are not looking to scam you, so feel free to ask any of them where to find your chosen transfer company, and they'll usually point you in the right direction. Private transfers are the dream. They pick you up right at your resort's lobby, factoring in traffic and the time of day. Shared transfers are cheaper, but can turn into a 30-minute ride into a 2.5-hour saga if they're waiting for everyone to get on board. It's all about what works for your budget and your schedule, of course. We always book private transfers. We've tried the included package transfers before, and we vowed not to use them again because they take so long waiting for everyone to get off the plane, get their stuff together, and then stopping at all the resorts along the way. They work just fine and they will get you there, but for me, they just take too long. I've almost finished a new video about our top 5 transfer companies in the area that we have consistently used and have had good experiences with. There are a ton of different companies, and take it from me, they are not all good ones. Last year, we decided to try another company that we hadn't used before to see how they compare to our tried and true favorites, and needless to say, they forgot to pick up half of our crew, so they definitely did not make my list. Check that video out if you're looking to book private transfers, and don't forget, we're not sponsored and we always pay for our own transfers. My top 5 recommendations, don't even know that I made a video recommending them. It is simply my gift to you because I hate it when people get ripped off, so if we can help you out, we certainly will. Also, While we're on the topic of transfers, new for 2025, the Ado bus runs right to the Cancun hotel zone. It costs about the equivalent of $8-ish per person at the time of this video, and you can buy the Ado bus tickets right here. It is a safe and reliable local transportation bus option that you might want to check out if your budget's a little bit tight. Let's have a look through the mini mart while I give you some final tips that we have learned over the years. So before you wrap up your airport adventure, here's a few things I've learned. Bathroom breaks. The washrooms near the plane exit and before immigration are much less crowded than those in baggage claim. And if your resort is far away, like in Tulum or Akumal, definitely freshen up beforehand. Watch your wallet. Almost everything at the airport, duty-free items, restaurants, bars, it's all overpriced. And don't even get me started on water. With no refill stations available, a bottle costs an arm and a leg. Please refill your water on the plane or pre-order a beverage with your transfer. Highway updates. Good news! The highway construction nightmare from 2023 is officially over. There's still some construction going on toward Playa del Carmen and Puerto Aventuras, but nothing like the delays of 2023. Airport hotels. If your flight timing is tricky, early in the morning or super late, you might consider a Cancun Airport hotel to avoid those all-inclusive resort fees. The airport hotels are more affordable than an all-inclusive stay, especially when you're not arriving to the resort until later in the evening, or you're departing super early in the morning and you've already lost the whole day. Sometimes it isn't possible when you've booked a package, but if it is possible for you, then I highly recommend having a look at the Cancun Airport hotels, just to save you a little bit of money. If you travel carry-on only and you need to buy some sunscreen, I highly suggest booking a transfer company that will allow you to make a quick stop at a Walmart or a Costco rather than buying it anywhere on property or even at the resort. I'll tell you how to do that in our top 5 transfer companies video. Oh, and one last thing, the Visitax. There are teams of people in arrivals and departures checking that travelers have paid the Visitax. There have been some major updates for 2025, and while I was hoping they would finally scrap this ridiculous tax, it's still in effect. And there are dedicated teams in arrivals and departures checking that you've paid it. So that's a wrap for our ultimate guide to navigating the Cancun Airport in 2025. From mastering the e-gates and customs to dodging taxi and timeshare scams and booking hassle-free transfers, we hope that our tips help you start your vacation on the right foot and keep the stress at bay. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and as always, our opinions are our own. We're self-funded travelers who recently enjoyed a stay at Palladium Group of Resorts in the Riviera Maya, so check those videos out to hear all about the pros and cons of choosing those resorts. And we're also off to 2 Excellence properties in Punta Cana next month, and we're checking out the new Excellence Coral Resort in Playa Mujeres, north of Cancun. Let's see how the Punta Cana resorts compare to their Mexican counterparts. We're going to break it all down for you. Happy vacation planning! Do something fun for yourself this week, and don't forget, we post a video every weekend with more new travel escapes. Bye everybody!